Okay, we're back here at Salisbury High School in Allentown. Crazy time along with JJ James Josephson here from, shall we say, a cold November evening, but then again, you might expect it to be as such. We're about ready to start the second half. The Lehigh Valley Storm on a 14-0 lead over the Central Jersey Vikings. We'll take a moment and remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is being presented by authority of Major League Football in conjunction with the Lehigh Valley Storm, who have derived approval to the announcers of this game. It's intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or disseminated in any form of express written consent. That includes all accounts and descriptions given in today's game. The Storm and the Central Jersey Vikings like to thank you all for your continued support. We hope you're enjoying today's broadcast, considering if you're a Storm fan, you are enjoying it with a 14-0 lead heading into the third quarter. By the way, the game is the property of Major League Football, the Storm and the Vikings, with all rights to this broadcast reserved under international conventions. Now the Storm will get the ball to start the second half of play. And JJ, your thoughts on what has been a pretty interesting first half?
Yeah, it has been. I mean, the Viking defense overall has played good, and the offense actually has moved the ball a little bit. It would have been huge for the Viking team to get points on the board on that huge kick return right before half, but they're only down 2 scores, and they need a big stop coming up right now to start this second half.
The kickoff is very short and taken by one of the upmen for the Storm, who catches it 35, 40, 45, maybe to 47. Now it's dogpiling the rabbit from that point. It almost looked like the San Francisco Giants were being imitated for winning the World Series on Wednesday night. But in the meantime, a 12-yard gain, and the Storm are going to have pretty decent field position just shy of midfield in 1st and 10.
Yeah, I don't know about that kick there. I don't know if he did it on purpose. I don't know if they wanted to maybe do a little surprise, but if they were going to do a surprise, they should have just went for an onside kick, because given Jimmy LeHue and this high-powered offense, the ball at the 48-yard line will be tough, especially down 2 touchdowns. So this defense for the Vikings know exactly what they have to do, and they just have to execute it.
Okay, it'll be 1st and 10. The Storm breaking out of their sideline huddle. They will, of course, be at the 48-yard line. I think the star for this first half has been Sean Mayers. Even though Ridley's had a couple of nice runs, Mayers has had 2 gains of 25 or more yards, and that has really set the Storm up in very good field position. They've made a couple mistakes on special teams. However, the Storm are still holding up with a 2-touchdown lead in the opening drive of the second half. LeHue in the shotgun, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Back goes LeHue, quick slant throwing, caught by Michael Thomas, and Thomas ends up losing 2 to the 46-yard line. A great open field tackle by Jonathan Ortiz.
The Viking cornerbacks are really doing a great job on those little swim passes to the wide receivers. They're coming up. That time was a safety who had Michael Thomas keys, and he just came up and he a nice tackle for a loss to start out the drive for this defense, and they're doing a great job on those plays.
All right, so 2nd and 12. They're going to spot just outside the 47-yard line. Again, the shotgun, Jimmy LeHue, just about every snap is like that. 4 receivers, lone back is Ridley, who gets the handoff, tries to go up the middle, pushes the pile to about the 48, so he gets the 2 yards that Thomas lost back, and now the Storm have a pretty important 3rd and 10 for this opening series of the second half.
Yeah, good job by the big guys up front, really just giving Raheem Ridley nowhere to go, so it's a huge 3rd down right now. If you come up with a stop here for the Viking offense, you can get some momentum on your side instead of moving the chains and really being on your heels, so huge 3rd down coming up right now.
And let's see what happens here as it's 3rd and about 9.5. Storm at the 48. LeHue in the shotgun, takes a snap looking. He fakes a slant left. He's going to go deep on the left side, and the pass is dropped and incomplete. Devon Gordon, the intended receiver, did a fly on the left-hand side, and he got swatted away by one of the Vikings secondary members. That wasn't a good joke anyway, but still, it is going to be a punt for the Storm as they have 4th and long.
Great job. Number 84, Devon Gordon beat his quarterback. LeHue threw a strike right to his hands, and the safety came with over-the-top help and just put his body on the receiver and forced it out of his hands. Couldn't come down with a catch. A huge opening stop for this Viking team, and they're going to get the ball back only down 2 scores, and really going to have to try and get something going on the offensive side of the football.
And Eppelman will be backed upon the 35-yard line while the Vikings standing up at the 15. You would expect a booming punt for Eppelman. Takes a good snap, rushes on, but a high booming kick. Let's see if the receiver decides he's going to let it go, and it's going to roll into the end zone. Lucky for him, he never touched it. Once it breaks the plane of the end zone, it is a touchback, so turns out to be a 52-yard punt for Eppelman. Unfortunately, the net's 32, and the Vikings will have their opening drive of the second half in the 20-yard line.
And that was a good job by Bobby there, really just kicking it and giving his guys to make a play, but unfortunately for them, they couldn't get it in time, and the Viking offense is going to get the ball at their own 20. The Storm offense is really outdoing them in total yardage and all that, but the scoreboard is something that you have to look at. It's only down 14 in the second half of football to play, so given a big win last week, this team scored 17 points, so you know that they can score, so they're going to be looking to come out, maybe a couple trick plays, but the main thing is first things first, they have to move the chains and take it one possession at a time.
Okay, so now the Storm defense is up to a test here. I mean, they played pretty decently. They've had 2 sacks. Joe Davis had 1, and Mike Kuzer had the other in the first half. We'll see if the Storm throw a few more blitzes at them. And don't forget the Rodney Gilmore interception on a ill-advised Hail Mary by Opie Muse, who is quarterbacking with a single setback to the right in Brown. 4 receivers, 3 to the left. Back goes Muse. He's looking, being chased. He's going to throw left, and that pass is incomplete. Good coverage that time by Prince Alvin, who ends up crowning the receiver, taking a couple seconds to get up there, and they'll end up being second down. And I think that was in time for Cedric Brown.
Yeah, Muse at halftime was definitely thinking, stop sending these outside linebackers and give me a little bit of time. And that was one of the first times that they did not send him. And big number 94, Luther Wilson, defensive end for the Storm, got there. So there's been pressure in his face all day.
All right, so second and a flag down, as we may have had 12 in the huddle with somebody here. The official may have been able to count to 12, but which team is it? Is it the Vikings or is it the Storm? It is illegal substitution on the Vikings. They had 12 in the huddle, and that backs them up 5 yards. Not a mistake you want.
Nah, exactly. That's a mental mistake there, having 12 guys in the huddle instead of having a second and 10, now you have a second and 15, so they shouldn't be looking for a first down here. They should be looking about 7 or 8 yards and try and make it a more convertible third down opportunity.
And considering you're down 2 scores, that's the last thing you want, especially deep in your own territory. Second and 15, Vikings their own 15-yard line. Muse in a shotgun. They have 4 receivers, 3 to the left. Back goes Muse, looking, throws left. That pass is caught, breaking a tackle, and then getting out of bounds is Terrell Rouse, who's able to slide his way over to about the 19-yard line. Still a 4-yard pickup, but this puts the Vikings in a 3rd and 11. They've made him today, so this could be a dangerous situation for the Storm.
Yeah, that was a good job there, picking up a couple yards, and now it's only 3rd and 10 instead of 3rd and 15. But this is all about field position here. They need to pick up a first down and move these chains.
So a pickup of 5, it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Again, lining up 4 receivers, 3 to the left, and a single setback next to Opie Muse, who's in the shotgun, takes the snap. He has some time. He's going to roll to his right, throwing to his right, and he ends up throwing it all the way to the Poconos. There was a receiver on the right-hand side, but went way over his head and incomplete. It was in double coverage, so not necessarily the best decision by Muse, but incomplete it is.
Yeah, not the best decision, but if you look at it, it could be a smart one. There was 2 guys there. There was no one open, and being it's only a 2-possession game, I'm going to throw it out of bounds, hopefully get off a good punt, and leave it on my defense to make a big play. So not the greatest decision, but a smart play by Muse, and it's pretty much just looking at his guys on the sideline, says, defense, we need a big play out of you.
And I'd have to say, too, that Muse actually, it could have been a whole lot worse. Could have been a Romo interception, or he could have been sacked and lost 15 yards on the play, if you think about it. So 4th and 10, and Muse will be back the punt. Yusuf Reddick back once again. He did have a halfway decent return for one of his returns, but the other one was basically kicked away from them. Drop snap by Muse. He's going to have to punt. He's able to barely get it away, and then it's caught by Tajmir Flood at the 40-yard line. It ends up being a 20-yard punt, but Tajmir Flood ends up catching it on the fly. He's lucky he held on to it. Boy, I'm sure Bob Kohler might have to take a little medication after that one.
Yeah, and Yusuf Reddick looks a little upset. He was looking for it on the bounce, but that was one of those things. I think Tajmir Flood just had no choice but to catch it, or else it would have hit off of him.
Or Flood said, hey, I'll do the returning for you. That way you save yourself a breath in about 25 yards.
Yeah, he leads the team in interception, so he wants the ball in his hands, maybe.
And now he has a playoff punt return. Hey, quick note, remember Lehigh Valley Storm football here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net, presented by Pepsi. Pepsi, live for now. And we're living it here as the Storm at 1st and 10 at the Viking 40-yard line, and it'll be Lehigh in the shotgun. Thomas goes in motion, back and forth, of course, in motion, and a handoff, and that's going to be Rob Kuzer. Kuzer with a change of pace, ends up crossing into the 30 down to the 29-yard line. So Rob Kuzer picks up 11 at first down.
On my show on Thursday, I was talking to Rocky Ridley, and he said, I kept bringing up the double duo, him and Mayers. He said, don't be surprised if Kuzer comes in and gets some touches in this playoff game earlier than you expect, because he's a guy ended the game in blowout leads. He comes in and picks up some big yards. So it's interesting to see him now in a 2-possession game, but that's a nice pickup.
And definitely is for a guy who scored a touchdown the fourth quarter in the first meeting. 1st and 10, Storm at the Viking 28, we'll say. Back he goes, and again the handoff. Kuzer has a hole, crossing the 25, down to the 23. Another 5-yard pickup, and Rob Kuzer's accumulating some yardage here in the second half.
When your offensive line gets a good push and creates a hole, and you have a running back like Kuzer who just hits the hole like he does, one cut and go, you're going to pick up some good yards. And right there on first down, it was a gain of 5, and they're knocking right now again up 2, making to look at more, make it to be more on the scoreboard.
Well, or extend their lead might be an easier way to put it. 2nd and 5. At the Viking 24-yard line, Lehigh in a shotgun, in motion Michael Thomas. He's done enough running back and forth here. Another handoff to Kuzer. Kuzer will have a hole and get to about the 20. He might be short by about a yard of a first down, but Kuzer, remembering with the Storm drive starting the Viking 40, 3 carries for 20 yards, of course, all on this drive.
Yeah, after Ridley put the ball on the turf earlier in the game, we haven't seen too much of him. We've seen a lot of Mayers, but right now that's 3 handoffs in a row to number 21, the third-string running back of this team, Kuzer, and he's running hard and he's doing a good job.
And he's put the Storm in the red zone, basically. 3rd and 10, or not 3rd and 10, 3rd and about a yard from just inside the 20-yard line. And this time, fully in motion, Yusuf Reddick to the right. They will hand it to Kuzer. Kuzer, an easy first down. He plows it to the 16. You can move then chains another 4 yards.
4 in a row. Why fix it if it's not broken? Just keep giving the ball to number 21. This offensive line really is doing a great job of getting the push and giving their running backs the holes and the push that's needed. So as long as these running backs keep running hard, they're going to keep picking up yards.
All right, 1st and 10. As the Storm are at the Vikings 16-yard line, chewing some clock. They lead 14-0 over the Central Jersey Vikings. Lehigh in the shotgun formation, 4 receivers, 3 to the right this time. A play fake and a throw up the middle. Caught, Yusuf Reddick at 10. He's going to swarm around to the 5. Get a block. Open the gates. Welcome to the end zone. The soldier boy, Yusuf Reddick. Yeah, I had to say it again. A 16-yard touchdown strike, and the Storm making a 3-touchdown lead.
Great job by Lehigh finding the open man, number 11, Yusuf Reddick, over the middle, and I love that reference. The Yusuf soldier boy, it's great, and Yusuf Reddick just used his speed and found the end zone. He could have cut it up, but he said, "Why not? I'm faster than everyone on the field." Got to the sideline and took it in for a touchdown.
Took it to the house and a couple of other places too. So the extra point is coming up as the Lehigh Valley Storm have pretty much exhumed control. Here's the snap, kick on its way, and now we'll make it 21-0. The Lehigh Valley Storm leading the Central Jersey Vikings. Use a little coffee here. Mine's freezing cold, but at this point, iced coffee wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I live for iced coffee.
You just buy the $1 coffee and let it freeze.
I'm going to play 2 in a row.
All right, we are back. The Lehigh Valley Storm just took a 21-0 lead over the Central Jersey Vikings thanks to a short 40-yard field. Rob Kuzer ran for four of those plays to the 16, and a pass up the middle from LeHue to Yusuf Reddick for 16 yards. That did the trick. Eppelman's kickoff is going to head all the way to the goal line, where it's going to be returned to the far sideline, crossing the 10, and bouncing off to about the 20, still on his feet, 25, 26-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will begin play, 1st and 10, and now they're in desperate situation, down 3 scores.
Yeah, and it looks like there was a late flag thrown on the
there was? Didn't quite see that. We'll see what the officials decide.
Block in the back.
Returned by the Vikings to the 26-yard line. However, we do have a flag, and that's going to be an illegal block against the Vikings, 10 yards from the spot of the infraction, or half the distance. So, penalty against the Vikings, and that is not going to help them at all with the illegal block. If it's inside the 20, it's half the distance, obviously, and the ball is going to be spotted. I think the infraction happened about the 19, so does that mean half the distance? So that's going to put them back in the 9-yard line, looks like. So, no, I'm sorry. It was at the 26, so you back it up 10 yards from there. So the Vikings at 1st and 10 with the 16.
The Vikings have any trick plays in their bag? It might be time to use it now. They need to get points on the board and give their defensive play a chance to make a bigger play. But the offense right now for the Vikings need to move the ball and start moving the ball down the field.
All right, 1st and 10. Vikings are on 16-yard line as Opie Muse has a single setback in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 3 to the left. Muse with the snap, backs up. Let's see if he runs. He's under a rush. Has to throw up bounds. Pass is dropped, incomplete. And the receiver tried to catch it. Just took a shot by Mike Kuzer. So maybe Kuzer should sponsor the entire second half.
Yeah, if Kuzer's not getting after the quarterback, he's taking on the swing pass and making a huge hit. This defense has really been playing well. They're getting after Opie Muse all game, and if they're not blitzing, they're really just staying on their guys. Besides the one play in the first quarter by Tajmir Flood, he got beat, but this defense right now is playing well, and the Vikings need to pull something out of the hat here.
I'll tell you what, at least it's not flooding out here. Earlier this morning it was, and it's more Tajmir weather by his last name, but thankfully it's dry here. 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Opie Muse with the same formation, 3 receivers left. Back he goes on the snap. He'll throw deep right sideline. That pass is intercepted, and it's Jaron Elder who picks it off and falls out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Muse with an ill-advised pass. Another turnover by the Vikings, and the Storm have pretty much put this game in control.
Great job there by Jaron Elder, number 4. And actually, when I got here, I parked in the parking lot. I walked in next to him, and I looked at him. I said, "Hey, Jaron, you think maybe you got an interception you need today?" And he thought about it for a second, and he looked at me and he said, "We'll see. I think so." So he came complete there and picked it off. Great job by number 4.
If I'm Coach Kohler, you go the deep bomb. I don't care if you have Gordon or Clark or Reddick, one of those 3, or maybe even throw Chris White or Art Sanders into the mix. Why not? Go for a deep ball. It happened twice against the New Jersey Wolves. Why not have it happen here?
I agree. Maybe a play action, nail in the coffin bomb. It's a good call.
Well, don't nail it in our own coffin. That wouldn't be too good. It'd be hard to announce from your own coffin. Anyway, 1st and 10 in the shotgun formation, and it's going to be a play action indeed. LeHue looking, flagged out. Deep throw on the left side for Gordon, who can't get it incomplete, but the flag ended up in the area of offensive holding, I would suspect. So I think it's going to be 10 yards anyway, and it is.
Yeah, it was a good call. We speculated up here after the turnover to do that play action bomb deep, and that's what they tried to do to 84, but something that this offensive line really doesn't do that much. They get called for holding, and there they did.
And I think no, it's not refused. I thought it was going to be refused from the official standpoint, but it is a 10-yard penalty. They will back it up all the way to where the infraction was, which is back at the 48-yard line, so it's 10-yard penalty. My apologies, 10-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 20, and the Storm have it at their own 48. So 1st and 10 now for the Storm. Remember, I'm doing double duty. I'm doing public address as well, but sometimes, hey, you got to do what you got to do to try and entertain, even if it's bad. Oh, in the shotgun. I'm trying. Here is a handoff. Rob Kuzer up the middle, escapes, crossing midfield to the 40, and down to about the 39-yard line. So not only did Rob Kuzer get the yardage back, he got a few more on top of that. In fact, he got all the way down to the 34, which is going to be a 17-yard gain.
I mean, you can't blink. He hits the hole exactly how you're taught to do. You blink and he's 10 yards downfield. That's a great job on first and 21, I think it was there, to pick up a huge run for number 21, the third string running back, Rob Kuzer, who's getting a lot of playing time in this playoff game.
He most certainly is. It is going to be second and we'll say 3 from the 34 of the Vikings. Shotgun formation. Back goes Lehigh. He's got play action. Roll to his right. Throw to his right. Pass caught Michael Thomas. He gets both feet down at about the 13-yard line. 21 more. Move them chains. Another first down for the Storm.
After a huge pickup by Kuzer, they did a little rollout to the right with number 10, Jimmy LeHue, and it was a great throw, but it was a better catch on the sideline by number 8, Michael Thomas. Got both feet in, got the ball, good possession, a great catch on the sideline, and once again moved those chains.
Back into the red zone, shall we say. First and 10 for the Storm at the Viking 13-yard line. Latter stages of the third quarter, Storm lead 21-0, and Jimmy LeHue in the shotgun, 3 wide, high snap, and a fumble by Kuzer, and it bounces, and it's recovered by the Vikings, who are going to try and run it down. They will. He'll get to about the 10, and they lose the ball, but then the Vikings fall on it. So evidently a game of hot potato inside the 10-yard line. Kuzer fumbled it. Vikings recover. It's run back. Then that's fumbled. But luckily for the Vikings, they recover. The only bad consolation out of it is they're going to start deep in their own territory. Just a bad-handled play by the Storm there.
Yeah, I thought that was a wild play overall, but I thought that the Viking defense would have just jumped out in the end zone, got the ball to 20, and keep it 3 possession. Obviously, luckily, they landed on it once again there, but that
They've rolled it three-quarter time. They've rolled it three-quarter time, so we'll take a short time out as we are through 3 here in Allentown. The Storm lead the Vikings 21-0 with the final quarter coming up. And we made it to three-quarter time. It is the Lehigh Valley Storm 21, the Central Jersey Vikings 0, with 15 more minutes left to play. It's actually an instrumental of Janet Jackson's Go Deep.
Three, two.
Back here at Salisbury High School in Allentown. Crazy time with JJ James Josephson. So we got 15 more minutes to play in this one. The Lehigh Valley Storm, a 21-0 lead over the Central Jersey Vikings. Remember, proudly presenting Lehigh Valley Storm football here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net is Pepsi. Pepsi, live for now. And it is first and 10 for the Central Jersey Vikings at their own 7-yard line after a slew of fumbles to end the third quarter. Opie Muse in the shotgun will take a high snap back up to the goal line, throw off his foot, and a pass knocked down and incomplete. Tashmere Flood, Paul Bolden in the area. That was nearly picked off, and that might have been the shortest interception return for a touchdown in Storm history if one caught it.
Yeah, that was a great job by number 7, Flood there, just staying on this guy in a little slant. And Muse actually threw a nice ball, but Flood just said, I don't think so. Shut down the slant there, and a good play on first down.
Vikings at their own 7. So 2nd and 10. Vikings already down 21-0. And we got, of course, one of the loyal Storm fans cheering in the front row. I forget his name, but we see him a lot, of course, online on the Lehigh Valley Storm Facebook page. High snap on 2nd down. Muse throws off his back foot. Another interception. And take it to the 20, the 10. Get your lottery tickets. A pick 6. Welcome to the end zone. Bring on Mother You can make it 27-0 as Tashmere Flood gets you the Mega Millions on a pick six.
That's exactly something that we've seen a lot this year. Not only just picking it off, but making back-to-back plays there and running it back into the end zone for a touchdown. Great job by number 7, Tashmere Flood, jumping up, and you're taught as a D-back. Your D-back coach teaches these cornerbacks to get up at the highest point, and that's exactly what he did. A little bit underthrown ball by number 1, Opie Muse, but Flood went up, made a great stop on the play before, and then jumped up, got it, and ran it back for a touchdown.
I know neither of us or Tashmere probably will not win $320 million on that play, but I promise you this will almost guarantee next Saturday here in Allentown as Eppelman comes up with the extra point as we await that. Caleb Fick, the backup quarterback, to hold. Here's the snap, the kick on its way down the pike. It is good. And the Lehigh Valley Storm waltzing here once again at home, 28-0 over the Central Jersey Vikings.
Another flag. I think it's just going to be offsides, defense decline.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah, it is offside against the Vikings. So
I think they're 4 for 4 on those extra points, I think.
Yes,
for
indeed.
offsides, right?
Well, no, not every play was offside.
No. Every extra point attempt, I think they've jumped offsides and had a penalty.
But definitely a huge thing for the Storm was they have that 28-0 lead now. We've been told, by the way, from our spot reporter Ed, crazy shouts to him, second half in Plainfield, or actually games being held in Bridgewater, the New Jersey Wolves 17-0 over the Northwest Giants at the other divisional playoff. Of course, the winner of this game will be the Storm's next opponent as long as this 28-0 game with the scoreboard not changed yet holds into play. So, interestingly enough, I mean, the Vikings, once again, the Storm have been playing, once again, very good defense, except for maybe a few plays. I mean, you have to give the Vikings credit for hanging in there, but I think the Storm pretty much put the stamp of approval, especially in the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit different than the game that they had back on the 4th of October, but pretty much kind of the same thing early on. The Viking defense had some big plays and some big stops, but as the game continues, the Storm offensive line, running backs, really just pound the ball and wear down this defense. The Vikings are a couple players away, in my opinion, from being a really good defense, but they have the guys in the Storm right now after a huge pick six by number 7, Tashmere Flood, in the driver's seat.
Well, they definitely are, and it looks like it could be another Wolves rematch in just a few minutes. Here's a high kickoff. They'll be taking it. It's a short one. Oh, and it takes a backward bounce live ball. A huge collision, and there's going to be, it looks like a head-to-head hit as a big flag is down. Hopefully everybody's okay after that, but that was a massive collision and a crazy bounce that I think was recovered. And I thought for a second it was by the Storm, but there is a flag down and a head-to-head hit. It's going to be on the Storm. Wow. That was about 5.8 on the Richter scale, given that hit.
I mean, that's a hit that you see when you log into YouTube and type in big hits. Travis King came flying down. Unfortunately for the Viking kick returner, it just took a bad bounce for him, and he was set up as a target practice. But number 22, Travis King, came down and absolutely popped him.
And King crowned the guy, whoever it was, but... Man, I think the Vikings did recover, and they were very fortunate that they did. So, a 15-yard penalty that will be assessed from the end of the play. So the Vikings will have pretty good field position. Remember, when you kick it off, after 10 yards is the live ball. So that almost went the Storm's direction on that one. But, be that as it may, it was recovered at the 15-yard line, and the Vikings will have it now at the 30-yard line. So let's see what Opie Muse has up his sleeve. 28-0 in favor of the Storm early in the final quarter of this one. Of course, if the Storm win, there's another game next Saturday night here against the winner of the Northwest Giants New Jersey Wolves contest. Muse in the shotgun, 4 receivers, 3 to the left, high snap, and they're going to hand it off up the middle. It is not Brown, it's their backup running back. which I believe is Luna, and he's able to bring it down to about the 33-yard line for a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, the offensive line did a pretty good job there creating a hole for the running back, but big number 17, local captain of this defense for the Storm, came up and absolutely met him in the hole. That's what you're taught to do as a linebacker, and put a huge stick on the running back.
All right, 2nd and 8 from the 32-yard line. Vikings, knowing their time's running out. Remember, they were here thanks to a surprising win over the New Jersey Spartans last week, 17-0 in Newark. They were looking to keep the momentum, but slowly but surely the air has been let out of the bag by the Lehigh Valley Storm defense, who have only allowed 3 points on this field against opponents this year. That's unbelievably impressive. Snap goes to Muse. He's under a rush. Throws deep along the side. The pass is knocked away, incomplete. Jaron Elder was there, so was John Kennedy. The intended receiver, I believe, might have been Lynchwood or Salazar, but either way, it's incomplete, and 3rd and 8 comes up.
Yeah, that's a great job for Elder. He was looking for his second of the night. He had one before, obviously, and returned it for about 25 yards, but he did a great job there. He was beat, but he slowed down and took the inside route on the receiver and jumped up. And same thing, met him at the highest point, tried to pick it off. Unfortunately, went through his hands, but a great job for the secondary for the Storm so far tonight.
And that's the thing. They've only allowed 3 points, and that was that New York Predators kicker kicked a 52-yard field goal. And that was what was that? Was that?
We've been mentioning that for a while. I mean, we didn't. Wow, it's true.
Obviously, nobody wanted to change that scenario. I don't know, but and the Predators, of course, they have their own playoff game this week against the Tri-State Bulldogs, and that was a season opener where they won 61-18. All right, on 3rd and 8, back goes Muse, throws off his back foot, and the pass is caught. It looked like it was short-hopped, but then brought out of bounds about the 37-yard line. That's a 5-yard pickup. And you're down 28-0. You have nothing to lose. You might as well go for it.
Yeah, why not? You might as well try and try and pick up a first down here. There's a couple subs, second team guys in for this Storm defense, and even for the Central Jersey Viking offense. So there's no hurt. It looks like they're going to punt.
I'd be very surprised if they did. I mean, you're 28-0 here. Yusuf Reddick is standing at the 30-yard line. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it were a fake punt, too, but you're down 28-0. You try that. You can get a higher percentage play by just going for it. But let's see what happens here as Opie Muse is going to punt yet again. Takes the snap, and he will punt after all. Very short punt. One hop. Yusuf Reddick pick it up at the 35 and end up falling all the way backward to about the 32-yard line. That flag goes down at the end right next to the punter, and that's going to be a face mask against the Vikings. I don't know where that came from. I mean, the flag came like basically next to the punter with nobody around him. So I can't really understand that. Okay, now they're calling on the Storm. But when did it happen? While the kick was in the air or during or what? I mean, I have no idea. The officials are going to discuss that, and we're going to see how this is going to be scored. By the way, other scores to report to you. The Somerset Bears, 14-8 lead right now as they are playing the Brooklyn Mariners. And the New York Predators 14-0 over the Tri-State Bulldogs. That's from Ed, of course, our reporter from somewhere in Jersey. He's at one of the games, whatever the case may be. But I tell you what, we've got a lot of exciting stuff going on. So if those scores hold up, it's going to be Predators-Bears next week, and then Wolves-Storm for the conference championship games. Now the ball's going to be spotted at the 45-yard line following the personal foul. And I think they did signal it is on the Vikings. So
Caleb Fick.
Oh, Caleb Fick is in the game now for the Storm. Going to give LaHue a rest on 1st and 10. He's going to hand it off. That's Rob Kuzer. He'll get through a hole. He'll get slowed up at midfield, missed tackle, and into Viking territory. Still fighting and going down to the 46-yard line. So a nice run by Rob Kuzer. He picks up 9 on the play.
Yeah, for a little guy, he runs hard. He caught the edge there. It took a couple guys to bring him down. Something to to be noted today in this game, Parker Caney has kind of been a little bit quiet in that. And that's supposed to give credit to the offensive line getting off of their blocks and getting to the second level and picking up big number 99 at the linebacker position. Last game, he had 13 total tackles. In this game, not so much, but good job tonight overall for the Storm offensive line.
2nd and 3 from the 48-yard line. Spick is in the shotgun. Rob Kuzer to the right, now moving to his left. They're going to put up 3 or 4 receivers, 3 to the right side. In the wing is Reddick inside closest to the line. Fick is going to wait for it. Holding, takes a snap, handoff. Kuzer has a hole, crosses the 45, nearly lost the ball when he lost the ball a couple plays ago. I thought he was not protecting it well there either, but he gets to the 43-yard line. That's going to move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, he's racking up the yards. This is the most that we've really seen of him all year, and it's interesting because it's the earlier that we saw him also in the third quarter, but they're just giving him the ball. He's running hard, he's picking up first downs, moving the chains, so he's racking up yards himself, but as a third-string running back, you always have to be ready, and he came in and he's proven why he should be on the field.
Okay, so 1st and 10 for the Storm at the Viking 43-yard line. Fick again to shotgun, Rob Kuzer to the left. They're going to line up 3 wide, slot to the right, and then this time, man in motion. You're going to do an end around this time. Going to about the 40, 35. That's Chris White, who is tackled at about the 34. He gets 9 yards on the play, so pulled the end around, and Chris White's on the score sheet, almost getting a first down.
Yeah, the second teamer, guys, Chris White getting a little speed sweep to the end. Great block by the left tackle, number 77, Zach Yankiewicz, and picking up the defensive end, finding the edge on the speed, and picking up a solid 8 yards.
And our home reporter is actually not at a game. He's actually in his warm home, so. But then again, we're in our warm press box too, so we'll take that. 2nd and a yard from the 34-yard line as Fick is in the shotgun. 3 wide slot to the left this time, and it's going to be Yusuf Reg to the right. And this time Yusuf gets an end around, has a hole, crossing the 30 down to the 27-yard line. So end around one way, end around the other, get 2 receivers involved, and you still move the chains. Another first down for the Storm.
That's why this offense is so tough to stop. They run a draw up the middle to Kuzer, then they run a speed to the left, and then they come back with the fastest guy in the team, number 11, Yusuf Reddick, on a speed to the right. So you can see why there's so many athletes on this team, but you have to give credit to the coaching staff for the Storm also, who have been calling a great game.
Absolutely. It's 28-0. Storm lead the Central Jersey Vikings. Couple touchdown passes by Reddick. Ridley a 1-yard touchdown run, and Tajmir Flood a pick 6 to start the final quarter. Fick in the shotgun this time. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Man in motion again, Chris White. He moves to the left. They're going to hand it off to Kuzer. Big hole, 25-20. He's going to the 10. He's going to the house. He's going to seal this one up. Welcome to the end zone. Get your furniture. A big touchdown run by Rob Kuzer from 28 yards. And the Storm, again, get in the 30s on the scoreboard.
Great job. He's picking up the yards, but everyone wants to get into the end zone for the touchdown. So number 21 getting on the board there, picking up a touchdown. He had one at the end of the game last time these two teams faced off, and he picks up another one right now. Great job overall in this football game by number 21, Rob Kuzer.
Boy, I tell you what, Rob is a cruiser. So 2 rushing scores, 1 for Ridley. This one, Kuzer, that's the cherry on top, icing on the cake. Your snack and lumpy lose, whatever the case may be. To kick the extra point, Bobby Eppelman waits for it, takes the snap, kick on its way, 35-0. The Lehigh Valley Storm in total control of this one. You know there's going to be another game coming next Saturday night.
What was that?
The mouth thing went off.
Sounded good though.
That was the email alert on the iPod, sorry.
My prediction was 35-6, so. No, I know.
Oh, they might not get anything on the scoreboard the way this is.
What do you think's left? A couple minutes? 5 minutes?
Probably about 4 or 5 minutes. All right, the Lehigh Valley Storm with a 35-0 lead over the Central Jersey Vikings. The scoring's been slow but steady, but it's picked up a little bit in the second half here. I mean, it wasn't 28-0. This was more moderately spread across because if you recall, all these games the Storm have played, they've basically had major thunderous scoring, like 20s in like the first or second quarter as a kickoff. Takes a hop and taken by an end guy at about the 5. He's going to run around to the left. He gets to the 20, 25, and then he's still going to the 30. Pushes his way to the 32, and that's as far as he's going to get. A late flag down, possibly unnecessary roughness following the play, but whatever the case, we'll see what the flag is about, and we'll see where the the Vikings will be starting. So, in the meantime, you got to think about this. I mean, the Storm, they've scored 20 points in a quarter several times this year, most notably the first and second quarters. Of course, they had 37 as a high for them as they went to halftime against the Longhorns a couple weeks ago and wrapped that 50-8 win. And, well, of course, it was a couple weeks ago, and then the Storm only put up 15, but it was a mostly reserved game, but it still got them to their 9-1 mark, and it looks like it will be 10. The personal foul is against the Storm, so it is a hit to the head, and that will move the ball to the 44-yard line after the Vikings will start.
The thing I like about the way that the Storm offense has played so far tonight is these scores that they're having, they're not huge 2-play drives. They're all 10-play drives, picking up first downs. And in the playoffs, yeah, everyone loves those big plays, but sustaining a nice drive, running, passing, doing exactly what you have to do, showing that you can pick up first downs, and that's a great thing to see in the first playoff game that the Storm are doing so far this season.
Indeed. So 1st and 10, Vikings are 44-yard line. They got a handoff up the middle, bouncing around to midfield, spin move, but then getting plastered in Storm territory at the 49-yard line. Their running back, and Travis King may have just crowned himself because he made the stop, but then he might have taken a shot himself and the guy who ran the ball. So gain of 7, but still it ends up being 2nd and 3 as they do the no huddle now. Lehigh Valley Storm, 35-0 lead over the Central Jersey Vikings. Last few minutes for certain in this one. Opie Muse in the shotgun. They're lining up 4 receivers, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Single setback to the left of Muse. He takes a snap. He's looking. He's going to roll right. He'll throw up the middle. That pass is caught nicely and get to a tackle to the 30, to the 20, and down to the 16, and a flag down the end of the play. Tackle made by Prince Alvin. But let's see what the penalty is at the very end. That could be a horse collar or a face mask that can make half the distance.
It looks like the ref is signaling for face mask, but I'm not 100% sure.
Pass is caught all the way down to the 16-yard line now, flag at the end of the play. And it might be 1st and goal. I mean, the officials are... Actually, they disregard the flag. Or did they? Now they're moving. Okay, it is a face mask. A 15-yard face mask goes half the distance. 1st and goal for the Vikings at the Storm 8. And now almost all the stuff I've said for weeks is now in jeopardy. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the Vikings. Muse in the shotgun, waits for it, high snap, handoff up the middle, and the Storm say, we know we haven't allowed a touchdown all year. We're not going to do that now. And their running back ends up losing a yard, and Carl Kreidler was one that made sure of that.
Yeah, Kreidler making a great play there, just taking down the running back, shooting inside, beating his guy, and bringing him down.
And now we've hit the 2-minute warning, so the Storm 35-0 over the Central Jersey Vikings. You think you want to run down the sponsor list here?
Yeah, quick couple sponsors for tonight are A&H Sporting Goods, Shruti Pub and Restaurant, Scott, Family of Dealership, Connecticut School of Broadcasting, State Farm Insurance.
At the 2-minute warning,
Blackman Cycle Center, Philly Pretzel Factory, and Motto Family Chiropractic.
And don't forget, of course, remember to check out the Lehigh Valley Storm at lvstormfootball.com. On 2nd and goal from the 9, here's a fade out of pass. It's caught, and welcome to the end zone, the back corner for the first time. And now, and I tell you what, for the first time in 20 quarters.
Number 2,
that's Shannon Adams with the catch. ends the touchdown scoreless streak at 19 and 13/15 quarters. That's a long time, as the Vikings end up breaking the egg and they end up hatching to 0 to a 6.
Maybe we could finally forget about his 52-yard field goal.
Shannon Adams for a 9-yard touchdown reception. And the Vikings will go for 2. And the Vikings will go for 2. How do you like that? All right, opening news. Well, no, he's got play fake. He's waiting, throws right, passes caught in the back of the end zone for a 2-point conversion, and that makes it 35-8. So I don't know if there's going to be a crazy 5-touchdown final 2-minute thing, but I wouldn't think the Vikings would score 5 touchdowns in 2 minutes. But we've seen stranger things happen here. So
we have.
That pass caught in the back of the end zone for a 2-point conversion. So the Lehigh Valley Storm lead has been cut to 35-8. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not doing anything. I haven't had this problem happen all game long, and the email alert, I'm going to change this thing up when I get back to the hotel tonight.
No more music. We're good. You want to rub it in.
Oh boy.
Alright, you're live on me.
Okay, the Lehigh Valley Storm with a 35-8 lead now over the Central Jersey Vikings after a couple of crazy plays and a couple of nice opening news catches, and a 9-yard touchdown reception by Shannon Adams, the first touchdown scored by a non-Lehigh Valley Storm team all year long. There's been 42-3, 55-0, 38-0, 49-0. Tonight could have been 35-0, but it's 35-8 instead. What do you say about that incredible defensive presence by the Storm, not allowing a touchdown till now?
I mean, I don't know what I can say. That's just unbelievable in itself.
All right, well, it looks like the Vikings are going to kick this thing off, and it's a squib kick that bounces off of I believe Daniel Wynn, and I think he's still able to recover the ball, and the Storm will get at the 48-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 as the Lehigh Valley Storm are about to put this away any second now. By the way, we have a correction on a score. The Somerset Bears over the Brooklyn Mariners 10-8. I'm not sure what game that, I don't know what, it might be 3rd, 4th quarter for that one. But be that as it may, if that score holds, the Bears will, of course, play the winner of the game between the Predators and the Tri-State Bulldogs. So the Storm will get out and they get to their own 47-yard line. But if anything, think about it this way. Storm won the first matchup 34-7. Each team has scored one more point outside of that since a month ago.
Yeah.
And I think,
That's a good point.
one good point on each side.
Yeah.
Think
No
about
pun
that.
intended.
Well, we have to. 1st and 10, and it will be thick in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 3 to the right. Basically, the reserves are playing now, and they will hand it off to Isaiah Green, and Green ends up getting tied up with the ball and loses a yard on the play. Isaiah Green with a carry for a 1-yard loss. So the Lehigh Valley Storm, of course, they will wait. Of course, they will wait for the New Jersey Wolves or Northwest Giants unless there's like an incredible comeback. So Lehigh Valley Storm looking pretty much in the driver's seat here as we wait. Now the officials blow the whistle, and I think waiting for a substitution. I'd say we probably have like a minute left in this one.
I think there's got to be right there less, maybe.
You know, maybe one more play because the Vikings aren't stopping the clock. We had to figure that one out. So everyone's signaling. I think they're waiting to say let's go home and go to get our post-game meal into play here. So.
Isaiah Green's upset.
Well, why would anyone be upset when it's 35-8?
To run the ball again.
I know, but I mean, you're up 35-8. Get the opportunity next week, and maybe do it early. But whatever the case. Oh boy, you gotta love this game. Second and 11 from the 47-yard line. And Fick will hand off to Isaiah Green. Yeah, he does get it. He moves and moves, crossing midfield. Big hit down to the 49. I mean, he didn't run for a 54-yard touchdown, but he got 5. And he got the entire Storm team on the near sideline.
Jumping up and down.
Either that or trying to keep warm. I mean, that was a big hit. Isaiah Green on the carry. And he gets 5 to the 49-yard line. And I think that might be it.
Corey.
Yes, yeah, we got to do the thing. We'll do that in a moment. You gotta love it. Well, folks, I guess by the way we see this, that will do it. It is a Lehigh Valley Storm win. And so the Lehigh Valley Storm winners 35-8 over the Central Jersey Vikings. Obviously a tremendous performance by the Storm as they will play in the conference championship game for a second consecutive year. Last year was another league with the Panhandle Crusaders. This year will be the winner between the Northwest Giants and the New Jersey Wolves. Now, of course, we have to have that ceremonial play in just a moment here, so just hang tight, and we'll explain what it is momentarily. Some thoughts, of course, in regards to the game before we get to that particular play.
I think that the Lehigh Valley Storm on offense and defense did exactly what they had to do tonight, and that was come out and run the ball well early on. And Sean Ayers had a great game for the Lehigh Valley Storm, but most importantly, the defense played a great job. They let up the second guys let up a couple touchdowns at the end. But I mentioned in the third quarter that the Storm did what they had to do on the offensive side of the ball, and that was create big plays to pick up first downs and move the chains.
And that's exactly what they did. They basically put the smack down on the Central Jersey Vikings. Of course, they took 27 second-half points the last time when these two teams met for the Storm to run away. But here, the Storm ran away with a spoon the entire time. And now we see Corey Martinez making his run. There goes Corey Martinez with his run with a couple of nice blocks. And away he goes down the left sideline.
At the 10.
He gets to the 10. To the 5, pictures are taken, and I get to say to Corey, welcome to the end zone. The ceremonial run by Corey Martinez to finish things out here in Salisbury High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Your final score tonight, the Lehigh Valley Storm 35, the Central Jersey Vikings 8. Let's give both teams a nice round of applause for a very nice game played here in the first game in Allentown in over 2 months. Remember, next week, the Storm will be hosting either the New Jersey Wolves or Northwest Giants. That'll be taking place here at 7 o'clock. Please make sure, and it's going to be on November the 8th, please make sure you go to lvstormfootball.com for more information on the game or majorleaguefootball.us for more information. Your DJ Crazy Tom signs out for now. Again, your final score, the Lehigh Valley Storm 35, the Central Jersey Vikings 8. We thank you all for making it here to Allentown tonight. Please drive home safely and take advantage of the extra hour of sleep you will get tonight. So it is the Lehigh Valley Storm winners, even though I had to do pretty much everything here. Not necessarily everything.
Whoa.
No. That's why I said pretty much. Don't forget, major thanks to Howard, of course, part of HSG Productions.
Howard knows best.
Yeah, well, of course he does. We want to take your games to the next level. Hopefully we have, and we didn't become the Three Stooges up here in the booth. So, how do you grade the Storm's performance tonight?
I don't know about a grade, but I think they did an excellent job overall. Offense, defense, special teams, great job. Everyone did what they had to do, and they got the job done. They won 35-8, no injuries. They played real well, picked up first downs when they had to. They created turnovers on the defensive side of the ball when they had to, and everyone from head to toe, I think, did a great job, especially the offensive line, running backs, and the coaching staff of the Storm.
Of course, I got to remind everybody that Pepsi's a proud proud sponsor for Lehigh Valley Storm football, Pepsi, live for now. And as they do their little post-game invocation between both teams, of course, that's the biggest thing. And remember when we last broadcasted a couple weeks ago, when the Lehigh Valley Storm, of course, had a couple of injuries take place, and it looked like it could have been really bad from that point. But then, of course, they ran away winning that game against the Longhorns. A little bit of a struggle the week after that against the Bravehearts, although they used mostly reserves in that contest. A week off and coming away healthy is probably the most important accomplishment this Storm team could have going into a conference championship game next week.
Absolutely. Something that you go into these games and you don't want to think about injury, but once the game's over, you say, wow, we didn't really get anyone too injured in this game. Joe Davis actually did come limping off. I don't know if he returned in this game, but it didn't look to be too serious. We'll get an update. I'll have that for my Monday night show, which is going to be from 7 to 8, but overall, it was a healthy game and a great job by the Storm.
And that's huge, and I think Coach Kohler is quite pleased with the end result. Now, everything went perfect. I know the special teams may have had a little bit of an issue on a couple of occasions, but needless to say, I thought that was a very solid game by the Storm overall. Just to recap real quick, of course, the first touchdown, Jimmy LaHue to Devon Gordon from, I think, 8 yards out. Then Raheem Ridley, a 1-yard touchdown run, was 14-0 Storm at the half. After which, a big touchdown pass to Yusuf Reddick made it 21-0 in the third. Early in the final quarter, Tajmir Flood, another interception, a pick six that time, and then Rob Kuzer ended with a 27-yard touchdown run. The Vikings did score on an 8-yard touchdown pass from Opie Muse to Shannon Adams, and the 2-point conversion was also good. That's how it ended up being 35-8 in this contest. And although you know all good things have to come to an end when you're trying to shut teams out from having them score touchdowns, wow, it took them 4 hours and 58 minutes of playing time for this to happen on its own field. This dates back to July.
Yeah.
That's remarkable, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely out of control. I'm not going to lie, I was rooting for a stop for the Storm there. I did predict 35-6, so I didn't want that 2-point conversion to go through, but overall, the Storm defense did a great job. The guys on the second teamers that came in, they did a great job as well, but unfortunately let that in. We were talking about that 52-yard field goal. It was impressive, but I think a couple weeks too long. So the Storm let up 8 points here at home tonight at the end of the game, but overall they did a great job.
If this holds up, we might be seeing those Predators again in the grand final, but like I said, one play, one step at a time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, because when we get ahead of ourselves, the plans change just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, a few crazy shouts. We got Angela in Maine listening. We got Carolyn, I think, in Maryland also listening. My wife Donna checking in, of course, listening. Thank you, of course, for the support, and thank you for the new MP3 player, because had to use JJ's the last couple of games, and she surprised me with an early anniversary gift. Ours is not for a couple more weeks, but obviously could not have done it without her and the new equipment. So major crazy shouts to the wife Donna. John out in Florida also listening as well, so want to send crazy shouts to the gang there. Any final thoughts as we kind of say, hey, we got through this one, now we got to get through step 2 of this playoff battle?
Well, you're talking about shout-outs. I have to give one to my brother who tuned in at the beginning of this game and listened all the way till now. So my brother Mike and my father. But my final thought on this game is, if there was a game plan list from this coaching staff, I would love to see it, and I would love to see what they checked off, because in my opinion, they did everything that they had to do from start to finish. They gave up a couple big plays here and there, but they really didn't put the ball on the turf besides that Raheem Ridley one, and they really executed from start to finish.
Do you want to give a crazy shout to Cody Parkey? Yeah, I had to go there after all.
Parker Candy, Cody Parker.
Well, I don't think he's listening from Houston. That's the only problem. He's probably asleep in his bed getting set for another one of those
about field goals, yeah.
Who knows? We got both our teams in Texas for next week. But anyway, just so you know, the Lehigh Valley Storm are definitely playing next Saturday, November the 8th. But what we don't know is the opponent. The most likely scenario is that the Storm will be playing the New Jersey Wolves of Plainfield. But if the Northwest Giants somehow get a huge comeback, it will be them Either way, the game will be right here at Salisbury High School, and yours truly and JJ will have the play-by-play beginning around 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So remember, for all the information of the Lehigh Valley Storm, check out LV Storm Football. Of course, we're thankful for all the people who and all the sponsors for the Lehigh Valley Storm. Of course, everyone here at Storm Radio and Hot101.net. Crazy shouts to all you guys for helping us out through all this. And of course, to Steve, the guy who owns the Storm, who are making this possible for all of us. And of course, if you want to check out more things on Major League Football, go to the website majorleaguefootball.us and check out all the details there. So, I guess on that breath, we can go back and get to our warm room. So, for James Joseph, Howard Gaber, and the entire crew here for the Storm, it's your DJ Crazy Tom signing off for now. Your final score from Salisbury High School in Allentown: the Lehigh Valley Storm 35, the Central Jersey Vikings 8. We'll talk to you next week for the Northern Conference Championship game here in Allentown. This, of course, has been a presentation of Lehigh Valley Storm football in conjunction with Major League Football.
Yeah, you're good.